Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Alright, Mr. Perry, that's how everybody else sees you. Why are you not embarrassed? Because you embarrass everybody else. Everybody's sick of you. If we know what you say, we know what everybody says. Not everybody, but a lot of people that are, unfortunately, you have involved in your criminal activity that is disgusting. It is very serious to sex traffic and exploit women and to peep. There's a lot of people very frustrated with you, with your phone calls demanding information. They got a booked up schedule, normal life, doing normal things, work and shit. Well, you sit around on your fat, lazy ass, perverting around all day and trying to ruin me and trying to, discredit me because I caught your crime. If you liked women, you would do what women like. And you don't. You're a big fat turnoff. So don't sit there and act like you're going to do what women like, or that you're doing anything women like, wondering why you're by yourself with your blow-up doll. You should be so embarrassed, and you're not, and that confuses everybody. We get it that you got Huntington's disease. I found out you have Huntington's disease because when you contact me, like you think I give a fuck what you think, and nobody understands why the hell you think that. Didn't ask you, did I? You're never going to get a phone call from me. Write that down. I want for you to be gone. I went to a lot of trouble. I moved twice to get away from you and not have to be bothered by the weird shit you think. I don't want to hear it. It's highly inappropriate for you to contact me, for you to invade my privacy, for you to know where I work, or if or when or what I drive, when I go anywhere. It's inappropriate for you to contact me or anybody I know. Stalking is a felony. That's the allegations, that you're a delusional stalker. That you sit around and you fantasize about criminal activity, disgusting sex criminal activity. And you don't go work and go get normal things done that normal people do, and that you need to. You embarrass the ever-living fuck out of everybody. And everybody wonders, why aren't you embarrassed too? You should be. So I found out you have Huntington's disease that causes delusion, paranoia, hallucinations. You see things that aren't there. Psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. Cause and effect. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. Nothing else has happened in a decade, Mr. Perry. I found out you have Huntington's disease because when you contact me, we get that kind of information. It's pertinent to your criminal case. At first, they thought you might not pass you might use the insanity defense, and it might work. But because you continue to try to ruin me and force me against my will to lie for you, deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce me to lie or be trafficked, and I said no, didn't I? I say it once, bitch. You better start keeping up or get a nurse or something. Because when you contact me, I fucking hate it. So we get more, and I'm repeating myself again. What is wrong with somebody? You got to say the same thing to them over and over and over, and they act like they have no fucking idea what you just said. It's like this guy. Like, I mean,
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone.
And we're screaming at you guys. Leave me alone. Screaming at you. Fuck off, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Get the fuck out of my life. Leave it for a decade. You've heard nothing but that. I moved twice to get away from you. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. Get the fuck out of my life. Get out of my business. You don't butt in. You and your guys sit around and have your little meetings. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. Where's she going to go? She can't go back to New Mexico. We got to make sure she don't go there. And we hear that. We have that. We have that recording, Calvin. So when you contact me, that's what happens. You piss off your leaks. You piss off my guys. You piss off everybody. It doesn't concern you. Nothing in my life concerns you. The allegations are stalking, hacking, peeping, sexual exploitation of women and children on the dark web. That's child pornography, Calvin. Okay, Calvin, you like beating down women. That makes you feel tough guy, huh? When you're in prison, your kind gets beat the fuck up by men. Your attorney's gonna have to make special arrangements for you too. What are you gonna do when that happens? How tough guy will you be then? You better think about that kind of stuff, because it's a reality for you. If we're quoting you, what makes you think you're not going to jail? What does it mean that we have all that? What does it mean, Lucius? What does it mean, Charles? That we have what you just said. I found out you have Huntington's disease. That ought to scare the fuck out of you. I found out you forged my name on a marriage license I've not even seen. That also ought to scare the fuck out of you. You guys are not in reality. None of you. Not any of you. Somebody complained about it today. Don't call me and ask me to find who it is helping her. And then act like nobody's helping her. I'm busy. And you're wasting my time. And y'all all act, you're not getting it. This is serious. You're in a lot of trouble. If she knows all this, somebody's getting it to her. From you to her. And you're provoking them every time you cause her a loss of her privacy. Every time you contact her, because she said, don't contact me. Every time you have a little meeting and how to ruin her or discredit her. You know, the little warpath rampage you're on. You know, don't bother people with this. If you're not going to listen. You're calling me wanting to know what to do? I told you leave her alone. So leave me alone. And I guess he wasn't really able to get a whole lot of information either. It's a need to know, Mr. Perry. You are the last person that's going to know. I told you before, over and over and over and over and over. If you want help, then when you get the fuck out of my life, and I'm not broke anymore, and Michael Neely is at his house with his wife and kid, my guys will be in touch if they haven't already put your ass in jail. And the longer you drag this out, there's not a whole lot now they can do. You continue to do the things you're recorded talking about doing to me. So then we got malicious aforethought. That's why we're doing this. Over and over and over and over. I don't want to hear from you. It speaks to your delusion that you think I care what you think. I did not ask you. I said, leave me alone. I've screamed at you just like she does, you fucking weirdo rapist. I don't like you. I don't like anything about you. We all want you gone. I didn't go through the trouble of moving twice to get away from you if I liked you. And in Dallas, Fabian was there. I liked Fabian. Fabian's a dude. He doesn't play with dolls. He doesn't bother and pester people all day. He's not a pest, and he's not cruel. That's who I liked. I left him to get away from you, you butt-in nothing. Nothing more pathetic than a bitch who won't move on. Have you heard that? It's on burn notice. Men's men say that. Nothing more pathetic than a bitch who won't move on. They're after a guy whose name is Charles, and he's a fucking con artist, and they get his ass. Right? And that's what he said to him. Nothing more pathetic than a bitch who won't move on. And that's you. You're just like this guy. You don't make sense. No one asked you what you think. You were asked to leave me the fuck alone. And when you don't, Everybody goes into overdrive. Really pissed off as fuck at you. Act like a gentleman. Get some class and some dignity. You're not wanted. You're not loved. You're by yourself. Nobody's holding your hand. You're just told on, and 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 caught, and told on. We're all sick of you. Everybody's sick of you.
Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my god. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you like a prostitute?
Calvin, I have your name, and I know you're bald and fat. And I know a lot of times the problems that are being caused are of you doing it. Bitch, come on now. I did not pick a fight with you. What kind of pathetic beats down women to feel tough? Get the hell over it and move on. I don't know you. I don't want to know you. I've not done a thing to you. You've not lost your home. You've not lost your car. You've not had somebody in your life die. Nobody's murdering people around you. Not from our camp. You leave me alone. No one's doing anything to you at all. You're picking the fight. You're getting caught. I know your name. I know what you look like. I did that. You know, when we first told Charles, when he first starts bribing and all threatening me and bribing and threatening, I'm gonna get you. Take my bribe. I'll pay you. I'll buy you. Lie for me. Oh my God. Wow. You don't even know me. You don't know me at all. You wouldn't have the nerve to ask me that if you knew me at all. So what I said is, here's the thing. That's illegal, and fuck you that you would even ask me. You got a lot of nerve. So, and that's the second time I've said it. Because I said it when you had me false arrested. They need you to lie. They want you to let them save face. Fuck you. Not gonna happen. I sat in jail. You know, here's the thing. You think people are as dumb as you? They're not, Mr. Perry. They're not at all. I go in to meet with my attorney, and I walk out, and one of the officers, the deputies, looked at me and she goes, "Are you finally going to get to go home?" And I looked up at her and I go, "Well, they want me to, I wasn't sure how to word it exactly. I was trying to be very careful in choosing the right words." She goes, "Lie?" I said, "Yeah, and I won't, so it might be a while." She looked down and she shook her head and she goes, "Oh my God. I pray not. That's wrong. That is just wrong. That is wrong." I said, "Yeah." There were other ones that told me that is fucked up. This is fucked up what he's putting you through and putting you in here. You don't belong in here. So you, Mr. Perry, are a rapist. You're a cop killer. And you're not a victim, and I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you at all. You have no business being in my life. And your delusion, as much as we quote you and as much of your evidence of your crime that we have, like never before in your life, it speaks to your delusion that you think you have a choice when I tell you, get the fuck out of my life. So in 2020, when I said, you give it back and you get out, or they'll make your life miserable. That's what they do. They're cops. If you're a criminal, they're going to catch your crime, and that tends to make you miserable. You owe me legitimate debt, legal debt. Pay that. I don't need your BioLi money. You owe me a legit debt. Give that back. Get the fuck out of my life, and don't ever let me hear your name again, or they will make your life a living hell. You're a criminal. They're cops. That's what they do, princess. And after that is when we get Calvin's name, who's bald and fat, Sonjay's name, Lucius's name, Geppetto, the witch. The witch, you know, all you guys play with dolls, don't you? It's something. I've never seen grown men that play with dolls. But y'all do. You're weirdos. You guys are all weirdos. The weirdo, creepy fucker club. I don't even know what... I've never... I mean, Vegas has some weird people in it. You guys take the cake. If you took all the weirdos in Vegas, put them together in a room, you're still got more weird in your pinky toe than in all that. Fat, lazy fucking turnoffs, all of you. If you really liked women, you would do what women like, and you don't. You do every deviant, whack job, weirdo, creeped out, nutbag thing that no normal person could even think up if they had to. And we're just like, oh my God, wow. Wow, how did they come up with that? There's somebody that writes your big book of weirdo technique that's supposed to, you know, I guess that's a gaslighting something. I want to meet that one, that fucker. Talk about a criminologist's dream. What in the hell would make anybody think up that shit? It is unbelievable. Some of the stuff these guys have tried to do to me. It is, I mean, some of it I don't even know how to describe. It is so fucking weird. It is so fucked up and weirdo. It's like, how does anybody even think that shit up? You gotta have a sick, twisted, fucked up mind to even think some of the stuff up they've done to me. And I don't know, it's like, wow. Some of it I don't even dignify it with a response. I mean, I just don't. It's like, this is not even worth. This is that bad. This is that pathetic. That deviant. That strange-o. I mean, what you guys think I was gonna do with some of the stuff? I mean, I'm just, it's like, this is unbelievable. I mean, I don't even have words for this creepy, bizarre stuff y'all come up with. Who wrote the big book of weirdo technique? That's what I want to know. Whose mind is that twisted? I want to meet that guy. I'd like to slap him across the face. So if you do come and meet me, again, do the same thing with Mr. Perry. Put your football helmet on and you better 500 feet away. I'm the guy that wrote because I'll probably slap the shit out of you because you just, it's like, oh my God. The criminal stuff. So all those people, Beverly, Sonjay, all these people that we have their names, Mr. Perry, Monique. Who's Monique? Tell everybody. You never shut up. Why don't you tell everybody who's Monique? Who's the Muffin Man? That's a nickname. Who's that? Why don't you tell everybody, since you never shut up and you like to talk and tell everybody what you think and how you feel? Why don't you tell everybody about that, Princess? So we got all those names after I said that. You ignored me. You completely ignored me. So is it work? I mean, now what do you think? Now what, Mr. You know, all day long we quoted you again. Today, yesterday, the day before that. Every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, I've typed up what you guys said. That police got from some recording or was a live feed. Every day, 365 days a year, since 2015. Wow, that's a lot of shit. OJ failed to recognize the significance of the recordings. He had to sit and listen to himself in a court of law, and he was found guilty. You, when you try to make me lie, deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce, a lie. Grand larceny with intent to coerce, a lie. Interference with contracts with intent to coerce, a lie. Interference with commerce with intent to coerce, a lie. Sir, you're showing consciousness of guilt. You knew what you're doing is wrong, and you know it's criminal, and you want it covered up. So you don't get to say the insanity defense because the test is knowing. First, you have to have a disease, a mental disease that can impair your thinking. The second requirement is that disease has to affect your thinking to where you don't know it's a crime, and you do know it's a crime, or you wouldn't be doing all that shit to try to make me lie. I'll type in my phone, call me. Today, I think I already said it. He's asking me if David is leaking to Russia, President Putin in Russia. Yes, Charles, however, did you figure that out? David calls Putin, and then Putin calls me and tells me what you just said. David called Putin and said he's got Huntington's disease. And Sanjay is the hacker. And Geppetto's our witch. And Sanjay gets very upset when she says his name. And she's supposed to be in jail and not able to tell on us. Because she's not doing anything to us. We're getting caught doing things to her. And Judge Crocodile's the judge on it now. And then it's Judge Parker. That's it. David's calling Putin and Putin calls me. How'd you know? Call Putin and tell him to stopping your crime. He'll get right on that. Hold your breath. I mean, this is the nutty that I got to deal with 24/7. This guy, I'm trying to work. I have a schedule too. I'm busy. You're butting in. I don't care what you think, and I will never fucking help you. Listen to the words. We all want for you to be gone. Gone. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. I came to Oklahoma because my family's in Oklahoma. If my family had lived in Florida or Louisiana or Iowa, that's where I'd be. The last person that I wanted to have to talk to right now is you. You don't go through a lot of trouble to move away from somebody if you like them. 11 times I've gone into a court of law and asked the judge, make the bitch leave me alone. And 11 times you have an ex parte hearing that is illegal, and I'm not there to tell my side or show my evidence. And there's nothing happens. 11. That makes me furious. Because my intent is for you never to contact me again. Never. Since you did, these guys that help me are using what you do to me to build their case. Okay? I do have a talent. I can talk to somebody and get the truth out of them without them knowing that's what I did. And I can also do it in such a way that a lot of times somebody listening can't even tell until I explain it to them. I'm very, very good at that. So I'm taking this as well. I know that God has a plan and God's will is justice. I, the Lord, love justice. I hate robbery and wrongdoing, and I will faithfully reward my people for their suffering and make an everlasting covenant with them. I, the Lord, love justice. He will not crush the weakest reed. This is all in Isaiah. Have you read the Bible? You ever heard of that? Aren't you a church deacon, princess? I don't know what the hell they teach you at your church, but it's not the same God I know. He will not crush the weakest reed. He will not put out a flickering candle. He will bring justice to those who've been wronged. He will not falter or lose heart until justice prevails throughout the earth. And you know why he said that? Because he knows that when there is injustices, people get discouraged. How could God let that happen? And that was the first thing out of my mouth when Mike Neely got found guilty. Why did you let that happen? Oh my God. Why? I don't know that man. But I know there was an injustice there. And he's a police officer. And I know what it's like to wake up or stay awake all night wondering if dad's coming home. When he's a police officer and his life is at risk every fucking time he walks out the door to go to work. And those two went to work and didn't come home. And I watched my son struggle with what you put me through in smearing me everywhere, knowing that I had been telling him he's threatening death and false arrest. I'm going to go to work now and I may not come home. He already knew. He already knew about the email to his dad. Everybody knew that you had threatened me and threatened me and threatened me with death and false arrest. Months before you actually did it. Everybody knew. So that was one of the first things one of my relatives said to me. You did just say. Yeah, I did. Everybody fucking knew. You didn't fool anybody. You are stupid, and you think everybody's as stupid as you, and they're not. Everybody already knew. You know when I first started talking about it? In August 2015, when those two cops came to my work and said, he's trying to find a way to false arrest you. He asked us to help. We said no. That's not why we signed up to be police. But that doesn't mean he won't find an asshole that'll do it. So watch everything you do in here, because they're just looking for something. He wants to smear you because you caught him on the stalking. He's trying to defame you. He's trying to slander you because you're right. And I wrote the U.S. Attorney a letter, and I started telling my family, here's what he's trying to do. It was discussed for that long, from August 2015 until January 29th. When you know what he was threatening to do? Yeah. Okay, well, he did it. Here I am. I'm in jail. Everybody knew. Everybody fucking knew. Everybody knows you've been trying to do it again since the day I was still in there. While I'm still in jail for the first one, and you guys start realizing you fucked up, you start planning the second one. And you've gone at it from 50 different angles, and everybody knows that. We all wonder, did you fall down and bonk your head on the pavement? Everybody knows, Mr. Perry, what you're trying to do, and that it's a lie. It is a lie from the pit of hell. So sometimes there are people that question God, whether God is good or not, the existence of God. Read the book of Job. There's a lot of questioning about God in that book. Job didn't do anything wrong, but he lost everything he had. And he got a disease. And he started questioning what in the world is going on here. Justices and injustices and rights and wrongs causes people to question God. I wonder sometimes, where is God when you read the newspaper and you see it or see it on the news that there's some little, the Galveston little girl, the 2-year-old little girl that had her head beat into the floor, the ceramic floor, and then she was put in a plastic tub and put out into Galveston Bay, and little Jessica McClure that was taken from her home in her bedroom. The guy walked into her bedroom, and he was a sex offender, and he took her out of her bed, and he raped her for a couple days, and then when they found her, she was on her knees in a praying position with her little fingers poking through a bag that they put her in where she died. And you wonder, why does God let that happen? And why does God let you get away with murder of a cop and women? Why? So people start to question that, and that's why he said he won't crush a weakest reed or put out a flickering candle. He will bring justice, and it may not be when we want and how we want and the way we want, but it will absolutely happen. It will absolutely happen. Because you offend everything good, and everything that brings joy, and everything that brings peace, and everything that's happy. You offend it. You deviant, sick little fuck. Anything wholesome, anything innocent, you ruin, and you rape, and you rob, and that's why you're getting told on. Because everybody's sick of it. And your mental disease is not my problem. It is not my problem. A man's kindness brings blessings, and his cruelty will be his downfall. Because people are attracted to kindness. People are attracted to those who make life fun and easy. And all you do is make trouble and cause problems and butt into stuff that doesn't concern you. You should not know or care where I work, or what I drive, or when I work, or how I work, or how much money I have, Calvin. How much gas does she have? Doesn't concern you. No one is bothering you. You have not lost shit. You took everything I own. You took everything I own trying to make me lie. And I said no. And I guess this person said, this girl is amazing. Because a lot of people would have completely crumbled at the pressure you people have put on her for this long. And she has not. Mr. Perry, you're trying to talk to me like you think I care what you think. And I don't. You look like a fool. You look like a fucking idiot when you do that. Didn't ask you, and I don't care. So believe me when I say, I asked God, why did Mike Neely get found guilty? Why in the world did that happen? How could you let that happen? You're God. And this is blatantly wrong. Blatantly wrong. How could you let that happen? And God can take it. God doesn't. He understands when we question what. No, why did you do that? Read Job. And he says, "Brave up like a man. Do you control Leviathan? Did you speak the world into existence? There's crap that's going to happen that you don't understand, and I don't owe you an explanation. Be thankful for what you have. Focus on the next step in the process, and I will bless you double for your trouble." That's my promise. That's my word. And he has done it time and time and time again. Joseph became second in command of the most powerful country in the world at the time, and his brothers bowed before him, not in the backyard where it would have been lame, but in a palace. And he got to the palace by learning things that he had to learn. And I don't understand it. God could do anything. Why do you do it like that? I don't know. I don't know. What I know is that God keeps his promises. And he's done it for me time and time and time again. Where I thought there's no way this is going to happen. I want it to happen. And I believe God it's going to happen. But I just don't see a way. And that the next thing I do, all of a sudden there was a way and it happened. God keeps his promises. And he is about justice. And he's about the truth. The truth sets you free. And he's about freedom. Jesus died on the cross to make us free. And our enemies are beneath our feet. And our enemies aren't flesh and blood. Our enemies are your Satan and your voodoo and your sorcery and your Geppetto worship bullshit. You don't see people lining up to become Satanists because it's weirdo, Geppetto. But boy, how do you see a lot of packed churches? People asking questions about God. Because a man's kindness brings blessings and his cruelty will be his downfall. And at the end of the day, God is good. Whether we understand his method. Satan came and asked to sift Job. He said, this guy believes you. He's a good guy. And I want to sift him. And it was almost like taunting God. And God said, okay, sift him. He'll come out of this fine. And I'm going to let you take everything he has. And then I'm going to give him double. Because I don't let anybody take from my children that I don't have a plan to give them double what you took. And he did. And God did. And that's the way God is. You can take everything I have. You sex offender. Cop killer. Allegedly. But God will bless me double. You can try to ruin my reputation, but I am who God says I am, and I have what he says I have, and I can do what he says I can do. And I don't care what you believe. I really don't. Didn't ask you, did I? I believe God. I've seen him work in this situation. There's been times we needed information, couldn't get it. Most of us are Christians, so we all pray. One of the guys has a granny that he has her pray too. He can't give her details, but he'll have her pray. That woman fell on her face screaming when Mike Neely was found guilty. It hurt her. Because she prays. We could not believe that injustice. Couldn't believe it. It broke us. It broke us. I didn't function for about a week. I functioned, but not well. Not like I normally do. He will not crush the weakest reed or put out a flickering candle. He will bring justice to those you wronged, to those you make suffer, Mr. Perry. So when you get told on, that right there is why. You're the offender, and everybody's sick and tired of it. Nobody feels sorry for you. We're tired of your whining. We're tired of you wasting our time. We're tired of you being a drain on our lives. We're tired of you. Fabian won my heart because he was kind. Because he's normal. Just like that. And you're creepy. And you're cruel. And we're all tired of that. We're all tired of you. Nobody, listen to the words I'm saying. No one cares what you think. You were not asked. You were told to shut up and get away from me. Nobody feels sorry for you. We can get information. Here's the results of what you've done. We can get information, and you can't. I have your guys' names. Name one of mine. quote one of their meetings. Because that's the results you've seen thus far. You want to piss off people that can do that? That's your choice. You can live with your choices. I don't want to hear from you. I don't give two fucks what you think. No one does. If we know what you say, we know what a lot of people say, and everybody's sick and tired of hearing what you think and how you feel and what you need. And you're wasting people's time. A lot of people are, and I've said that for a while now. A lot of people are sick of you. So we have no problem finding out you have Huntington's disease and getting Bald Fat Calvin's name, and Lucious's name, and Sanjay's name, and Beverly's name, and Blankenship, and Desiree's name, and James and Ruben's name. You know how, let me clarify here for James and Ruben. I don't know what their deal is, but everybody thought James and Ruben was a leak. So they said something that made sense, or you wouldn't think that. Jim, there is not a day that goes by that Mr. Perry doesn't ask me if you're a leak. So I've heard you talk in a courtroom. For the most part, you make sense. So my guess is you're trying to make sense to a man who can't reason. He's got impaired cognitive reasoning. He can't think past the tie his 2 and 2 is square. So because you make sense, I'm guessing he thinks you're a leak. I don't know. I'm not told who the leaks are. You dumb son of a bitch. How many times I gotta say that? Ask me again today. Is David leaking to Putin? Is it your dad? Oh my God. Here we go again. I'm gonna put you in jail. Is it your mom? Call me. Oh my God. Get the fuck away from me. Didn't understand a fucking thing I said. Because here he is going right back at it again. Yep. David calls Putin. Putin calls me. How ever did you figure that out? Just call Putin and tell him stopping your crime. And hold your breath and he'll get right on that. The fuck? Wacko like this. And we scream, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. You don't contact me again. It is highly inappropriate for you to invade my privacy and for you to contact me at all. Extremely inappropriate. There's a reason you're caught more in your crime, guys, all of you, when you do the crime to me than ever before in your lives, and none of you seem to be able to put that together in your heads. Are all of you mentally slow? Or, there's some I can't say that it makes sense. When my friend Tanya murdered her kids, I don't understand that. Why in the fuck would anyone do that? Once the shrink, or I think her attorney, explained to me what was going through her head, I said, that makes sense for her. It doesn't make sense for me. I understand why she did that. It's never going to make sense because I don't have a mental disease. But now that you explain what she was thinking, I understand the why a little better. And there's no difference with y'all. Mr. Perry has a mental disease, Huntington's disease. We found that out because he wouldn't stop pestering me and taking my money. It's cause and effect. When you pester me and take my money, we get more. You cause problems, we get more. Everybody starts getting mad. People rant when they're mad, dumbass. Everybody's sick of you. All of you. Calvin, you too. Everybody. Boy, you got to hear the shit about you, Calvin, behind your back. It would be advisable for you to back off on the asshole. It's not helping you. It's helping us. Who are you trying to help here? You trying to help the cops that are helping me, or are you trying to help yourselves? Some of the stuff y'all do doesn't even make sense for you. We're just like, oh my God. So for somebody to explain, well, this person did this horrible thing because they got this mental illness, XYZ, and it caused them to think like this, sideways. I see. We still don't get it because we're not thinking sideways. But at least you get, okay, well, I get it, kinda. Okay, but for the rest of you, what's your disease? Our shrink said, they all got something. Because you can't hurt somebody on purpose day after day. You can't. and have a normal thinking brain. I guarantee you, they all have something wrong with them. And when I get to sit down and interview them, I'll tell you what they have. Because you can't bring yourself to just beat down somebody else and be normal. You can't. You can't do it. You'll try to find a way out. Think about the Nazis and Hitler. They had these young kids who were German soldiers that they would take a gun. Here's this gun. Shoot that Jew. And some of them had a hell of a time doing it. They didn't want to shoot the Jew. They didn't understand. I was like, what is this? Shoot. They didn't want to do it. It's psychological torture to try to make someone be mean to another person. And it's even worse when it's family. That tends to make you hate somebody else. In Lonnie Athens' criminology, brutalization, and victimization video that he did explaining his theories, one of the psychiatrists that he had interviewed, she said sometimes what you have in a home is you'll have child abuse, young children abused, and one is getting it more than the other. It is just as bad and psychologically damaging and emotionally damaging for one child to have to watch the abuse of another. It'll fuck you up. Mentally, it'll fuck you up. It's inappropriate for a child to be treated like that. Whether it be they're the target of the abuse or they're having to watch the parent abuse brother or sister. It's bad either way. It's not how we behave in a civilized society. You lose your kids, you do that now. It's called deviant conduct. Outside social norms. It is not tolerated in a civilized society. You go to jail. People don't like it when you do that. They don't like it when you peep. They don't like when you abuse women. Back in the day when my granddad was a cop, you know what they did with men who abused women? They took you in the back and beat the shit out of you. I mean, they'd beat the hell out of you. It's called, we're going to man you up. Because if you're a princess and you got to feel tough guy to beat a woman down, we're going to man you up and make you a man. You're not going to be a princess anymore. Not in my town. And they'd beat the fuck out of you. And you didn't have so much problems with domestic violence back then. And I guess everybody thinks I'm some violent crazy. No, that's not it at all. I've never hit anybody in my life. I've never hit anybody in my life. But that's not to say that there aren't certain dudes that act like princess, that we got to beat down women to feel tough. I'm pretty sure, let me put it this way. I'm pretty sure that if there was a man in front of me that hit a woman, thank God, I've not had a man hit a woman in front of me in my life. If I had, I would probably first dial 911 and then try to kick the shit out of him. I don't understand that. But you're doing the same thing. You're just not physically hitting. You're hitting me with my finances and all different ways. So the way that I can hit back is by working with cops that are going to put you in jail. That's me hitting you back. Sometimes we do metaphors. Beat the fuck out of you. I think I said I'm going to kick your ass. In court, I did something right. You won't let me in court now. You do all the secret backroom ex partes. We got to do this illegally because we're not. 5 attorneys can't handle one chick without a law degree in just a normal court proceeding, a normal, perfectly normal legal court proceeding. So I did something right when I said I'm going to kick your ass. I guess it was a metaphor, but apparently I did something right because after that I'm not allowed in court. There was one that there had to be. I filed a lawsuit, and in the lawsuit asked for a protective order. The state case in front of Morrissey. In 14 days, there has to by law be a hearing. I try to fight that in the Supreme Court. Mr. Perry makes it where I can't make a dime. He's done that over and over. Every time there's supposed to be a Supreme Court appeal because he did something illegal, all of a sudden, boy, they make sure I don't make a dime. Remember, Lucky talked to me about that. They are fighting you in court, and they don't want you to be able to fight them in court. They're taking your money, and we all know that. And I told them to get your hand. If you guys mugged her, 5 guys mugged her. If you guys mugged her, 5 guys would tackle you and get her purse back. What's the difference? Get your hand out of her wallet. Fight her like men. Do it normal. They kind of said the same thing. 5 attorneys can't handle one woman with no law school. 5 seasoned attorneys. You shitting us with this, right? How embarrassing for y'all, Jim. Jim, I expected better from you than that. Mark, not so much. James Goodwin, I don't know. Seth, I don't know what the hell Seth's deal is. He wasn't completely participating. Mr. Giles, he did some out-of-court things that were strange, but in court, he was a perfect gentleman. I actually felt a professional respect for him in court. I don't think he was honest, but I feel like he was more professional than everybody else. Let me put it that way. He said his client didn't know what was happening. Well, his client's job to know, first of all. Second of all, his client signed the paperwork, so he did know. You're supposed to tell the truth. And an attorney is representing his client. He's supposed to be speaking on behalf of his client. Otherwise, very professional in court. So that's just my opinions. But Jim, you're a smart guy. Can't you do it the legal way? I mean, come on. I've not been to law school. I don't know. I've studied on my own. Doesn't mean, just a legal, normal proceeding where both parties are participating. And it's not this one-sided, we played Candyland against ourselves, and we beat ourselves, and we won. Yay. Everybody, we win. That's what it sounds like to everybody else. See, you think everybody's as dumb as you, and they're not. They're getting irritated with the insult to their intelligence, Mr. Perry. Also, I guess Lakeshore was being discussed. Here's the deal with Lakeshore. Remember, Lucky and I talked it was a very quick conversation. I got called on the stage. I walked up. He and Mike were sitting there. I introduced myself. Mike went to the bathroom. I sat down and talked to Lucky. He asked me about a forged marriage license, and he told you guys to get your hands out of my wallet. He was fully aware you were causing financial problems for me, and he asked you to not do that. I get called on the stage, and then they left. When Mike came back from the bathroom, I was still on stage, and that was it. And I was very, I was thinking, I live literally 5 seconds from the police department. Why is he coming all the way out here to talk to me? So if I wanted to finish that conversation, I'm a little worried about it. Normally I would just go to the police department and finish the conversation. Maybe I had some more questions for him. But I'm worried. Why is he driving all the way out there? He must have driven all the way out there because it's not comfortable talking to me in Manford. I was staying at Lakeshore, literally 5 seconds from the police department. And he drove all the way out to Inola. Why in the fuck did he do that? He wasn't comfortable just coming over to the hotel to talk to me. Everybody knew Robertson's employees were staying 2 or 3 doors down. Because when I did call them, and Mike did take my report, I said, they're staying right there. And the next thing we know, 6 days later, Lucky's dead. So what was happening at Lakeshore is there was a dispute over the bill over bed bugs. That bitch had bed bugs, and I was covered with bed bug bites. And I'm telling him, I need you to get rid of the bed bugs. And his maid said she could sue the crap out of you. Get rid of the bed bugs. Sometimes he would buy spray. Sometimes he made me buy the spray. There was another woman who was older, like in her 70s, covered with bed bug bites. It's all over Google. They're yelling and screaming at me, it's just my room. And I'm like, come on. It's not my room. It's just you in your room. No, I'm sorry. Look at the Google. You had them in all over the place. I'm covered in bed bugs. I have to do special kind of treatment for my luggage and everything else when I left there so that I didn't take that with me. I didn't. Thank God that I don't have any more problems with them at all. But covered with bed bug bites. Covered with them. They're nasty. And I call the health department and he's like, oh, they're just, they're not fun to have, but they're not dangerous. You listen, bitch, they are. If you scratch that enough and it gets infected, it's dangerous and that can happen easily. One hopes that one would wash their hands, but some people don't wash their hands right. So, but anytime you're scratching a sore, it can get infected. Where if you're out in the dirt, if you go to the lake, if you scratch a bed bug bite and you go to the lake, it could get infected. So don't tell people it's not dangerous. It is too. You act like you don't know, some guy named Richard. What is it? Where it was the Richard? I don't, pretending he's with the health department. Who knows? What I'm going to tell you is, it's dangerous that you tell people bed bug bites aren't dangerous. They can be. They can get infected just like any other open wound, any other open sore. It can get cellulitis. It can get infected. You don't know. It's not your call. It can be dangerous. So I don't, nobody should have to live like that. And the guys expect me to pay him. To be Mr. Perry, I get the hell out of my phone. I didn't ask you what you think, did I? Don't contact me. I will get more because you just did. So remember, next time I quote you, that is what you wanted. Because if you didn't want it, you would stop contacting me. I don't care what you think at all. We're all sick of hearing about what you think. Butt out. Butt the fuck out. So I got covered with bed bugs. I'm telling the guy, I'm reluctant to pay you here. Because I'm sleeping with, I can't even sleep. Look at me. I got pictures of it. I got pictures of the bugs. I got pictures of my neck. The maid's telling him, get rid of them. He just wouldn't do it. 7 months, he keeps telling me he will. And then they finally tell me to get out. And I'm like, what? We want you to pay. Okay, here's what I'll pay, but you got to get rid of the bed bugs. Okay, we'll get rid of the bed bugs and you pay. And then he refused payment and just said, just get out. Wow. Okay. Here's the thing with that, though. Had I just left, I'm not sure if that would have been abandonment or since he kicked me out after refusing payment and I'm covered with bed bugs. I don't know what the dispute on that bill is, but I'll tell you this. That whole time, he's complaining to Lucky about me being behind on my bill. Didn't bother to tell him by the way, I have bed bugs and she's covered with bites. Didn't bother to tell Lucky that part. Mr. Perry's telling the guy, what we're going to do is we've sold her to this guy in Houston who's a realtor. We're going to slave her up. She's going to work as a slave for this guy in Houston that we sold her to. And then she's going to earn some money and we're going to take that money and give it to you. And then your debt will be paid. Bullshit. He didn't get paid. First of all, that's none of your business. You're interfering with a contract, sir. And with commerce. Didn't concern you, butt in Bertha. You and Connie Curry on a date, you're the same. Just nosy. Getting into shit that doesn't concern you at all. Uninvited. What, you pay him. How about you just pay him? Since you were stealing my money, then you were planning to steal it again to pay him after you sell me, which is illegal. Sex trafficking comes with a life sentence, Mr. Perry. If we're quoting you, and I know beforehand that you sold me and who you sold me to, and that you told them that, you're in a lot of trouble. You just don't have any kind of grasp on reality. You have no grasp on reality. You're a delusional whack job. You can't tell the difference between fact and fiction to save your life. And right now, that's about where you're at. It could save your life, and I don't mean that like a life and death physically. I mean life as you know it. Except I don't think you're getting out of this one. They're not gonna let you off the hook on this one. So, anyways, you're not gonna just buy these cops off and just go on to the next thing. You've been looking for them, and they're not coming out of the woodworks to ask for your money, are they? You've talked to them. They go to you undercover. That's why they wanted you elected, so they could get to you undercover and get you nice and relaxed and braggy and chatty, and it worked. You have no idea what you said. You didn't even know that's who you were talking to. You had no business butting into any of my whatever I owe anybody. But you thought that everybody was getting mad and leaking because I owed the money and you were interfering with the commerce. Now, you might be right or you might be wrong. I don't know. But you think just because you go make a promise you can't keep to somebody about money you caused them to lose because you caused me to lose money, do you really think that they're going to, okay. I mean, if they do, I have oceanfront property in Arizona for sale. If they actually believe a word you say. When we found out you trafficked me and who you trafficked me to, that should have been a little clue, Sherlock, that you're up shit creek with no paddle And you're in a lot of trouble. Because no other victim finds out before, do they? Yeah, who's the Muffin Man? Tell us all who that is. Tell us all who Monique is. And then tell me you're going to just get out of this one. Buy your way out. Just because you always have and you just think you will here too. But nobody will tell you who these guys are. That's why. That's why right there. Because all you do is harass and bother and pester and threaten and dead lucky and almost dead framed Mike. That's why. Yeah, you're not getting to them. They can do a whole lot more work if you have no idea who they are. Your focus is on me. I'm like the lightning rod. While your focus is on me, they can go around and get all kinds of shit. I'm a distraction. But at this point, we have a lot, and you've been told, get the fuck out, or they're gonna make it worse for you. That's what they do for criminals. They'll mess up the crime and then make your life hell. If you're a criminal. If you're not, you don't have anything to worry about. This guy tonight, I'll close with this, comments on, Tulsa police gave her police report right to the offender, who then went on to maybe kill a Supreme Court judge and a cop. And there's more. There's a whole lot more than that, by the way. So, Mr. Perry, he's contacting me right now. Everybody know for the record, Mr. Perry's contacting me right now. So we're going to get more, because that pisses me off. I fucking hate it. Creepy. I fucking hate your creepy. Do not contact me again. I fucking hate it. You're pissing me off. You're creepy. You're creepy, Mr. Perry. You're not hot. You're not sexy. Never do you get a date out of that. Never do you get information out of that. And yet you keep doing it. We get information when you do that. Get the fuck out of my phone. So, sometimes if I just stop everything and ask him to stop, he will. Sometimes not. Sometimes he will. It's always worth a shot. So, when Tulsa police, that has caused some disrespect. And you do what you want with that. I don't care. I know you also want to discredit me. I know that. Or your guy wouldn't have pulled me over and given me a ticket. Because he was asked to do that. I got pulled over 7 times in a couple of weeks? That's excessive, don't you think? So you guys are also trying to discredit me. And everybody knows it. You have been for a while. Because you got caught giving my police report to an offender. And you shouldn't have done that. And everybody knows that. And now you're going, oh my God, how do we cover that up? Here's the thing. A lot of times if you just go, we messed up and we shouldn't have done that and we're sorry. How can we from here on out do this the right way? It's smarter. People respect you more than if you go around trying to cover up. And then one cover up is another cover up and another lie and another cover up. And you want to know that, you're cops. Cops are expected to use good judgment. And our guys don't call you because you haven't yet. You want to make same kind of phone calls and you want somebody to tell you something, it's not going to happen as long as your judgment is bad. And that's all we've seen so far. I don't know what's gone on here for however long before I moved here. I said very, very clearly, I don't want to know. I really don't. Just don't bother me with it. When you bother me with it, now it's a problem for you. If you'd keep that shit away from me, then you may not have, I don't want to know. I don't want to get into that stuff. That's not why I came here. I came here to get away from Mr. Perry and not have any kind of conflict and drama. I fucking hate drama. I fucking hate it. Anybody that knows me knows first thing I'll do is leave. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know about it. You keep that shit away from me. You and the drama. Everybody at my clubs, any club I worked at, ask them. There starts to be drama. Boom, she's gone. She'll bail. She'll bounce. She's out. Don't bother her with that shit. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to hear about it. If there's been once or twice where somebody's life or their health was at risk and I wanted to know if they were okay. Is this person okay? I knew this and this happened. And that's very rare that I know that. But because this involved a life or health or something, I made it my business to know. Is there something we need to watch out for so that this person doesn't end up dead or hurt badly? Otherwise, if it's something else, I don't want to know. Don't bother me with it. Everybody knows that. Charles, you're a little old fart who ought to know better than to have a life consumed with drama and problems. I mean, I have no words for that. Everybody's sick of this. We all have a list of things we need to get done in a daytime. Why don't you? Apparently somebody asked that. I've got a schedule. It's booked full. You're asking me to take stuff off my schedule to accommodate you, and you want to know who's helping her. And then I'm going to tell you what I think, and you're not going to listen to me. You're going to do it, same thing you've been doing anyway. And then that's going to piss me off. But here's the thing. My schedule's full. What is wrong with Mr. Perry that his is not? I don't have time to sit around on my butt and watch women in the privacy of their home all day and cause drama and problems for them. So why does he? Why do you? He said, get him on a schedule. Get him booked up solid with activities. It has nothing at all to do with her. And I said that a long time ago. You need the alibi. And at some point, you're going to really regret that you didn't get busy working and get busy with your family. Okay? You guys all can live with your choices, I'm sure. And when I quote you, don't complain. You asked for that. You asked for that. And this guy said, she's fucking quoting him, and he acts like it doesn't mean anything, but he's calling demanding answers. That didn't even make sense. Oh, wow. Another one of those for Charles Perry doesn't make any sense. He's like this guy. She's trying to reason with him.
Leave me alone. This make you...
She's trying to reason with him and explain to him it's not fun for someone to have a camera in your face all the time, and he completely does not understand what she's saying, and then threatens to get her. And that's exactly like what it's like to try to communicate with Mr. Perry. And he doesn't do it normal way. He does it by, he'll send somebody to talk to me like David or Pinto or one of those guys, or Mickey James, or he just types it in my hacked phone. I'm trying to do my homework and he's typing over my typing. Or I'm trying to text my kid or my ex-husband or my, friends or whatever, what few friends I have left. And he's typing over my typing. Is it your dad? Is it Jim? Is it Al? Is it Putin? Is it Russia? Is it Peru? I'm like, oh my God. I've got a headache in my eye from this person's stupid. Get the fuck out of my phone. Creepy. Get the hell out of my life. Fucktard creepy. You're rejected. Period. I will never help you. I will never call you. You make my skin crawl. I can't wait till they put you in jail and I never have to hear from you again. There's no fucking way I would help you. The guys will be in touch with you. I think it's about to be too late. You have drugged this on and on and on and bothered and bothered and bothered. It's so embarrassing. And you should be just about to die, and you're not. And nobody understands why you're not embarrassed. Everybody else is embarrassed for you. Everybody else is embarrassed for you. You are bizarre. Strange-o. Get off your fat, lazy ass. Quit perverting around all day, making trouble and problems and drama all day, and go fucking work. Act like a dude. Go be with your wife and kids, and get the fuck out of my life. Get out of it. Get out of it. All you do is make problems, and everybody's sick of it. And you don't make sense when you talk. No one's gonna help you. Never. For him to think after all these years, every day he's asking me names. Is it this person? Is it that person? Every fucking day for years. I'm not told that. Wouldn't help you if I was. We all want you gone. I say the same thing over and over. And you think by now it would click and he'd... Nope. Every day we have the same fucking conversation. Oh, like it's an Alzheimer's ward. This guy's... He doesn't make any sense. He's not understanding what she's trying to make a point with him. Do you have a camera stuck in your face? Oh, you mean the pictures I have of you? And oh my God. Son of a bitch. Wow. Then he threatens to get them. And it's the same thing. It's like talking to the same person. Between this guy and Charles Perry. It's unbelievable. There's some kind of wire. It's just not there in their head. It just doesn't click for these people. I mean, I don't know.
feel? You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this make you
Is that
feel?
the one that put all those scratches on your arm? You want to see the
Scratches?
pictures?
I got
I
scratches.
can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of there.
Hit the road. Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're
I
gonna
don't give
get
a
it
fuck.
good.
You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're
You
gonna
can bring
Is
the
that
whole
a
fucking
threat?
army. I don't give a fuck.
This make
Has no fucking idea what she was getting at. Not a clue what she meant. Mr. Perry's the same way. You can say something to him, he fucking won't understand you. It's very, very frustrating to have to deal with somebody like that. And I'm not a family member. I'm not a friend. I don't like you, Mr. Perry. You're not a friend. You're a criminal and I'm the victim. And you made it like that. You were supposed to be a job. I'm supposed to help you get elected so the cops could get to you. And that's that. You turned it weird. And you turned it bad weird. And you turned it very deeply wicked weird. So, I'm going to say it to you one more time. Either you get it or you just have to live with your choices. When you contact me, when you invade my privacy, you sick peeping Tom bitch. When you hack me, when you cause a problem for me, all of you, Calvin, Lucius, Charles, Dave, Joshua, all of you, we start quoting you. You get told on. There's never going to be a date. There's never been a date. Everybody's sick and tired of y'all. We don't have any. You can't name one of our guys. You can't quote one meeting. You got nothing. So, that's the results of what you've done all day with your time and what we've done all day with our time. We have more evidence than anybody has ever gotten in your lives. That doesn't say something to you as far as how effective we are. I don't know what will. I don't know. Mr. Perry, you're by yourself for a reason. You're doing things that are a turnoff to women. Our shrink is like, here's the thing about this guy. He does everything she hates and nothing she likes. Then can't figure out why she doesn't like him. I mean, he does things that no woman likes. It's deviant. It's very far outside social norm. And he's all by himself. He can't get a date. A real one. So, but he keeps doing the stuff all women hate. And then he can't figure out how to get women to like him. I mean, it's just, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. He's not into women. He's into deviant men. This isn't about him trying to get a date. If he wanted a date, he would do things women like. He does everything he knows she hates. And the more she hates it, the more he does it. So, what he's trying to do is subjugate her because he sold her. It's about getting her sold. It's about trying to overwhelm her with making her so broke and so destitute, like he does to all the other victims, that she'll think she has no choice but to be sold. Well, she's got us. He ought to know if she has us, she's got a choice. All of them should know that, you'd think, by now. But some of these guys aren't all there any more than Charles is. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. Nothing else has happened in 10 years but that. Ask James and Ruben. Ask Sonjay. Boy, Sonjay gets mad when I say his name. Sonjay wants me discredited something terrible, don't you, Sonjay? Sonjay, nobody did anything to you. You're doing things to me and you got caught. Nobody feels so sorry for you right now. Okay? I'm sorry you made that decision. I don't even know you. You didn't lose your home. You didn't lose your car. You haven't been alienated from your family. Nobody's done anything to you, Sonjay. Nobody hacked you that I know of. Mr. Perry, everybody when I quote you, that means Mr. Perry contacted me, invaded my privacy, caused a problem for me. I'm still broken. Mike's still in jail. No one's going to help. I'm never going to call you, Charles. It doesn't matter how many demands you stomp your feet and act like a bitch girl. You act like a baby. I heard that in Manford. Somebody said, we had a meeting, and Mr. Perry was told, you let her go. It's not that hard. Because you're making a problem for everybody else. Let her go. It's not hard. And he clenched his fist and turned red and stomped his feet and acted like a little 2-year-old. Threw a fit, literally threw a fit like a 2-year-old. And in my entire life, I've never seen a grown man act like that. I had to leave the room. I wanted to throw up. How embarrassing. How fucking embarrassing. You can't control yourself any better than that. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Everybody's sick of you. Everybody's sick of your drama and your You don't live in Oklahoma. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. I came here to get away from you. And I left somebody that I really cared about, that made me hope, to get away from you. Because you butt into something that didn't concern you. Again. And you guys that sit around and decide what I'm supposed to think and what I'm supposed to feel. Oh wow. You're shitting us with that, right? Manage your expectations properly. There's one of these guys, I don't know who it was, maybe the guy named Dickie, I don't know. But when I'm looking at Mike's case, when I'm telling people I'm gonna look at his case and I'm looking at it, and he said, now watch, she'll find every mistake they made. That's my reputation in Oklahoma. That guy gets me. One of these days I'm going to sit that guy down and go, okay, tell me, how many times did you get it right? When they all said, let's plan this and this and this and this, what do you think she'll do? How many times did you get it right? 80% of the time, 90% of the time, 70% of the time? I want to know. What percentage of the time were you right about me? Ask the guy, do you think she'll ever change her mind? Especially when we're assholes to her, we beat her down all the time. I mean, do I want to spend the rest of my life in a Nazi camp? No, I don't. I don't. The Americans are right behind me. They told me what you just said. I mean, I'm using a metaphor again. I get you guys don't know metaphor. I've never seen people have to explain what they mean so much as they do to you. What's a metaphor? What's an analogy? What's snark? What's sarcasm? I mean, it's just, I'll tell you this. There are days when I wish I would have said, no, I don't want this one, and not moved to Lubbock. Sometimes it's not worth it. I hope at the end of the day it will be. We have to get Michael out of jail. We have to, listen to the words I'm saying. We have to get Michael Neely out of jail. We have to. It's not physically possible for him to have killed anybody. We all know that. I get you're used to killing people and then intimidating witnesses and getting people alive for you. And I told you, David, Charles, all of you guys in 2016 when I first got home, watch this, not this time. And we've quoted you every day since. We got names of your people. You're seeing things happen you've not seen before. Did you think I was kidding? I think you thought wrong. I think you need to ask Dickie or whoever gets me to help you properly manage your expectations. You can predict the future by past, usually. If you're not getting what you want doing what you're doing, why do you keep doing the same thing every day? It's so easy, it's not even fair. Nobody's being mean to you. I don't even know you. I don't like you. No one does. We can get information and you can't. Look at it that way. I'm getting information, I'm quoting you, I have names of your people, and you don't have any such thing. Charles, you're truly mentally retarded. You have impaired cognitive reasoning. Don't expect anybody to take you seriously. Don't expect it. You act like you have you act like this guy, like you fucking don't understand what people say to you. It's so embarrassing. It's so fucking embarrassing. Get off your ass and go get busy. I don't know what you can do. Pottery class. I don't know what people with your disease can do. You're not functioning normally. You're not functioning even at normal levels. I don't want to deal with that. We're not friends. You're not family. I don't want to deal with it. Get it off me. You and your disease. Get off me. I'm not in love with you. You're rejected every day for 13 years. And you're pissing me off with rape. Get out of my life. Get the fuck off me. Get out. And don't contact me again. And every time you do, we get more. It's been that way for years. Every time you take something, we get more. Been that way for years. Don't complain about it. You asked for it.
I don't. This make you feel. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.